And we are live on YouTube. What's good, world? What's good, world? We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. We're live on LinkedIn with the amazing Omotayo. If you bear with me 1 second, guys, I'm going to make sure the audio is working on the tube of you. 1 second. Let me just make sure everything's working on the YouTube. The tube of the U. All right. Guys, can we just check? Yeah, can we just see if that sound is working?
It's working.
Oh, it's working. Yes, we've got SHURiKAN in the background with what have you got? Is it chicken and rice?
Yeah, biryani.
Chicken and rice biryani. We've got Caro.
Let's go.
Say hello quickly. He's just scanning over there.
Also eating a chicken biryani. How's it going?
Friday takeaway, guys.
Friday takeaway. Yes.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
people are enjoying Halloween Friday tonight. So anyway, before we get started, there is a very, very important disclaimer that we must do to make sure that we don't get sued. Yeah? Let's do that. So, first of all, this is a weekly show called NFT Fridays, which we do every single Friday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. UK time. You can join the Zoom. You can watch it on YouTube, watch it on LinkedIn, watch it on Twitter. To join this free Zoom webinar, you go to Blockchain Instagram, watch out for the fakes. Click on the link in our bio. Everything working, yeah? Everything working, sound working, amazing. Then just click this link here. We stream Mondays, Fridays, Sundays, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. UK time. Mondays, we cover mainly stocks and crypto and deep dive into that world. Fridays, bit of a fun one. We do NFTs, NFT Fridays. Sundays, we do charts. So that's good for the traders. And you can find all replays on YouTube. So before we get started, let's go to the disclaimer. And then we're going to talk to the lovely Omotayo about music, NFTs, and Web3 music, etc. So, disclaimer, terms and conditions. All content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only. And it should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, nor place any trades. Please always do your own what? Mandem?
Research.
Yes, I'm sure Omotayo would agree. When I said Mandem, I didn't mean exclusively the boys. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investments, which should be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor. Omotayo, you are an amazing artist, but are you a professional financial advisor? Are you a professional financial advisor, Com?
Definitely not.
What about you, Cairo? No. Alternatively, independently research and verify all any can't even talk. Any information you might find in our show, you may wish to rely upon whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise. All investments come with what, guys?
Risk.
There we go. Should always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, neither is Omotayo, neither is Cairo, neither is KG.com, neither is anybody on this YouTube. As far as I'm aware. However, we're working in collaboration with several accredited financial advisors, so if you're unable to mitigate your risk, let us know at Blockchain Sensei, and we'll refer you to an accredited financial advisor. On to the fun stuff. 1 second. Let me just reshare my screen. Right. Back to Omotayo. Hey. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a long week. We've got the eclipse tomorrow, so I'm just kind of like laying low, really.
Okay. What happens during the eclipse? I'm uninformed. Why do we need to be inside?
So for the last 2 weeks, basically, we've been in what's called an eclipse portal, where you have it started with a solar eclipse a couple of weeks ago. Now we've got a partial lunar eclipse tomorrow. And usually it's just a period of time where things can feel really intense, like things can start moving very quickly in terms of your own like internal.
It's been intense.
Yeah, stuff comes up, maybe like curveballs come around and make you reassess things and reevaluate things in a way that you're like, wow, I've actually never seen it like that before, but now I realize I need to pivot and move in this direction. So it's just a good time to just be like open to whatever changes maybe want to sweep through. So I'm just trying not to make any big decisions.
Has the eclipse got anything to do with Bitcoin going up to like 35,000? Or is that completely
I
uncorrelated?
mean,
Things happening very
I mean,
fast.
that's definitely a curveball for many people, but like a very welcome one. My portfolio is finally starting to look a little bit more perky.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, Omotayo, you are a lot of great things. You are a mother. You are an artist. You've explored Web3. And you know a bit about the moon and what is that? What is that formally? Is that
Astrology.
astrology?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I am not informed about that. So thank you for letting me know. But
Yes, always good
yeah,
to have a
maybe
little
it
bit
has
of
something to do with
context to
Bitcoin.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about you, just outside of Web3, your artistic journey. I want this video to be a legendary video I can send to particularly music artists that know
Yeah.
nothing about Web3. So who is
Okay.
Omotayo before we talk about Web3 and crypto and NFTs and all that kind of stuff?
Okay. So yeah, I'm a musician and still pretty new in the game actually. I've really only been releasing music professionally for the last 2 years. But have had music in my life for a really, really long time. And actually I know we'll get onto the Web3 stuff in a minute, but actually I released my music. I feel like Web3 was actually kind of like the vehicle that encouraged me to start releasing my music at all.
Wait. You wasn't releasing music before Web3?
No, it's just been the last 2 years. Like my first track that I released, I actually released it as an NFT before it was on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's how SHURiKAN sounds. Yeah, we released in Web3 before Web2, but obviously we've all had like mini Web2 careers before
Oh yeah, no,
Web3.
not me. No mini Web2 career for me. I'm
Wow,
just
I didn't know that.
I'm just in my baby shoes, yeah. And I
Wait, but
think
haven't you been making music for years?
not really, no. I mean, like I have, but nothing ever to a point of like a completed song, fully mixed, fully mastered, and on Spotify. Like
But you're
that
so
is really.
good. How did you spend all that time being that good and not releasing music? Like, what's going on in your life?
I think it just
I know you got a kid on that. You know what I mean?
you know what's going on. I think to be honest, I was always like, when I look back now, and it's, hindsight is always such a beautiful thing. Like my dad is a musician, he was always playing music, and then like when I was a kid I was always getting my family to sit down and like do little performances, like always writing songs since I was a kid. And then even when I left home, like I feel like my iCloud is still connected to the first time I had an iPhone. So I've got old notes in my
old
like
lyrics.
old bars, old
Yeah,
like chord progressions and that kind of thing from literally like a decade ago. And I realized that it's like always kind of been there. But then it was only really like, I remember I started dating this guy who was a musician, and that's what actually like sparked my like, he was just so passionate about music, and we just really like bonded over so much music and like dancing and that kind of thing. And then I just started writing songs, and like
how many
like
years ago was this?
That was when I was 24, so that was like 9 years ago. And so I've got loads of songs, but never anything that came to full fruition. And I feel like it just sort of went underground for a while because I was kind of just writing like songs. I did what I'm releasing now, the music that I'm going to be releasing from the start of next year and onwards, is I've found my sound. But what I have loads of songs that are just like cool.
Your sound is very
chorus.
unique and very you. Like when I talk to you and I see you perform and I hear you speak, I'm like, oh, that's Omotayo. That's true to what you to who
But
you are.
that's taken time. I feel like that's taken, first of all, in my journey, just writing songs which are just like, here's a singer-songwriter song, and like loads of those. and never you know, trying to like getting a bit of interest from this A&R guy at Columbia at one point, and so then I got some demos done, and then he actually was like not interested at all in the end, so that was really like demoralizing. And I think before Web3, to be honest, I didn't even really like know what it was to be an independent artist, and I kind of thought that the only way to be an artist would be, you know, to get a record label. And then when I was kind of at the point where I wanted that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my like XL record label, da 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 da. I was just so not ready for that. I was just writing songs that like they're good, they're fine, but they're not blowing anybody out of the water. And I think I just gave up because I just couldn't see how. I just couldn't, like, something was just not connecting from within me of like my drive to do music and what I wanted it to be in my life. I just wasn't clear. And so I just kind of like dropped it all, and then just, yeah, I just kind of, to be honest, just moved really deeply into my own spiritual path and my own journey of awakening and all of these different well-being practices that I first learned and then actually facilitated.
Yeah, you go to some cool music festivals. I've seen the videos of like you and your kid and your partner with the stand and that, and just in
exactly,
like really tribalistic. And I'm like, oh yeah, this definitely Omotayo, because your music has those kind of like African drum sounds.
Yeah, exactly. And so actually it was kind of going down that spiritual path that, and I ended up finding my way back to singing, because there are lots of, you know, there's something in yoga called kirtan, which is basically it's like devotional singing. So you just have these little Sanskrit mantras. Sanskrit is like the oldest written language in the world, and is what all the sort of the yogic words, if you go to a yoga classroom, but there's all these little mantras. And a kirtan is where you have like, you'll have live instruments, and usually there's someone leading it, and you're just singing these mantras. Like, so you might sing the same mantra, and that mantra might just be like Jai Shiva, which means like hail God, one of the gods, because obviously in Hindu religion there's a whole pantheon of gods and goddesses representing like different energies, right? So it was like,
are you a Hindu then?
No, it's just that the gods and goddesses of Hinduism are the gods and goddesses of yoga, like that you kind of.
Okay.
So I'm not religious, like I'm spiritual, but I don't subscribe to.
Thank you.
Huh?
That was Karen going to the shop.
So yeah, so I kind of found my way back to singing through like devotional singing, as in not in a religious sense, but in a sense of like singing to the universe, singing affirmations, like just singing for yourself rather than singing as like, I'm going to sing you a song now. You know, it's really just more like using your voice as a spiritual practice, basically. So I kind of found my way through that, and then I found a loop station, and then started making my own little medicine songs. And then
call them medicine songs.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes. Quan loves that. Healing of the nation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I call it. I call it medicine music. That's what I make. I make medicine music.
Okay, so that's what your genre is.
And I'm sure you probably make sure that it's in 432 hertz.
You know what? I actually don't. Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. I was like, man, I need to get all my music converted to 432.
Yeah, that's the natural frequency of the universe.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah, exactly. So then I started putting these little medicine songs up on Instagram, and then this producer was like, I'd love to help you record those. And at the time I was pregnant and pandemic, and I was just like, I just don't have the headspace.
Yeah, you're a bit busy. You're a bit busy, aren't you?
I was a bit busy.
Pregnant and it's the pandemic.
Exactly. But he was really insistent.
You have a beautiful child. She has a beautiful child, by the way.
Yeah, so he kept coming back to me until eventually I was like, all right, let's do it. And then we did it, and that was basically the beginning of that was like almost 2 years ago now that I started that.
When you release music, had your child been born, right?
Yeah, she was 1.
So you've never released music before being a mother?
No.
That's interesting. And that definitely affects the music you put out, because I'm not saying you would have put out crazy music as before you was a mother, but obviously we won't go into it. You know, the music industry and a lot of female rappers and stuff, they put out some not so positive content. And if they were mothers, would they still put out the same content? You know what I mean?
Like maybe they would. To be honest, I'm just in general a
Would they?
positive person. Like
Oh
if I
man.
had a daughter or not, I would always be putting out positive music, like
No,
regardless.
your music feels uplifting and positive.
Yeah, that's the
It's
idea.
definitely unique. Do you compare yourself musically to anybody? I actually can't compare you to someone in my head.
I mean, that's great. That's great. But obviously, I have my musical influences, and probably I'd say the strongest ones are Ibeyi, which are these two sisters from Cuba. They're actually signed to XL Records,
All
and
right.
they've got this kind of like, I mean, yeah, they're great. Ibeyi. And so this engineer that I'm working with currently, actually, when I sent him the track, he was like, yeah, I love this. This has got a real Ibeyi vibe. I was like, I love that you hear that, because I love Ibeyi and they're definitely one of my oldest inspirations. Also, like James Blake, Jamie XX. I feel like most of my inspirations come from that sort of like 2008 to 2012 kind of. There was sort of like this music that was sort of drawing a little bit on dance music, but with this other sort of slightly more like kind of still quite like chilled and relaxed. So I'd say like Ibeyi, the XX, and then just like indigenous medicine songs, you know, just songs that people sing around fires, like kind of a
Wow.
combination of those things, really.
That's an amazing inspiration list to draw from, and a very unique one, mind you, as well. So,
Yeah. I really feel like I was talking to my dad about this recently, that I feel like for as musicians to find our sound, like it's finding that blend of inspirations that you have that nobody else has, because of the
yes,
experience that has come from your life. Like I have a friend,
yes,
and he is like he's Ukrainian, and when he was growing up he was listening to a lot of like like kind of political Russian music, but it was a very like downbeat with guitars, but it's just got its own vibe. But then also he grew up in London, and so another of his favorite artists is Mahler. So then I was saying to him, like, dude, why are you not making music that is like fused? Like nobody in the world has those two artists
yeah,
as musical inspiration, probably, like
yeah.
except you. So how can you practice like bringing that fusion of inspiration into the world, like through your own experience? And I feel like with this EP that I'm working on now, I feel like I really found my sound in that way of like, yes, this music sounds how I want it to sound, exactly, in terms of not just like the,
Mm.
also the production. And I think that's really because I decided, my friend was like, you should just be trying to produce yourself. And I was like, oh no, I can't do it. He's like, yes you can. Here's Splice, this is how it works, now off you go. And then
And
like
now
I
you're
was just like
producing
a
yourself,
kid in a
producing
candy
everything
shop.
yourself.
Yeah, like to a demo standard, and then working with an engineer to obviously just elevate it and refine it.
Don't worry,
Producer
we're
rather.
gonna get a studio with Cairo soon. We'll sort it out. We'll make some
Yeah.
magic. We'll make some magic.
Mm.
So, would you? Oh, I think this is Cairo. Yo, Cairo, are you downstairs? All right, cool. So, would you be willing to share your screen? Obviously, clear anything that you want to clear, and talk us through your current NFT releases.
I
I want that
mean,
exclusive Omotayo breakdown, because I don't believe you've ever done any kind of interview where you've broke down every single NFT. I wanna know what you're
no.
just. I wanna hear the breakdown discography of what these all mean to you.
Okay, all right, hang on. Probably best way to do this. Let me just
Because
link
at present,
to.
I only hold grief. Is there any NFTs for
Yeah.
sale?
Yeah,
I need to.
there's loads. You know what? Like full disclosure, I am not good at selling my NFTs, to be honest. Like I'm definitely like there are so many artists out there who are better at it than I am. And I think I think the for me, it's not the quality of the music that is. I know that I make good music, but I feel like being successful in Web3 is about so much more than just making good music, you know?
The thing is, I don't even encourage people to be successful in Web3. I just encourage people to try it out and just give it a go, because
Exactly,
you
yeah.
might as well. you might as well experience using the future tools. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
let me just give away some game, yeah. One thing we're doing at SHURiKAN Sounds is we're trying to get our music in like play to earn games. You know, like games where you earn crypto.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
So yeah, don't worry. When we've got the right positioning partners in the games, well, we'll definitely.
You know what? I'm so down for that. I actually wrote a song for a game.
No, you didn't.
Well, like I wrote a song for an NFT project that got me on the whitelist, and then I ended up like we made a mixtape. I was in a collective with a group of people called the Outsider Collective. They're still active, and we made a mixtape like for the NFT project. It's called Loser Club, and like I did this song. I was like, "Guess I'm a loser." It's on Spotify. You can stream it. So
Is it what's it called?
they flew
make
us
sure I
all
put it in
out
the
to
description.
NFT NYC,
But
and
you got flown out to America.
Yeah, and we performed the mixtape like at their event. That was 2020, summer 2022. Yeah.
And you released for the first time ever when?
January 2021.
Damn. I've not even flown out to New York. I've not even been to America.
Yeah, it was wild. Like it was wild. It was like
you know why I love Web3 so
actually
much?
let me find that on OpenSea as well.
Share your screen whenever you're ready. Because I had like a pretty good Web2 rap career between 2017 and 2019. I got I got videos on YouTube with a couple 100,000 views and stuff like that.
Nice.
I could throw my own like headline shows like in like places like Manchester and I had loads of. To this day, I still have quite a lot of Indonesians following me. So I performed there. But when I think about it, it's just like, how did I run up like 100, probably like 1 million streams and views? I didn't see that much money.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely like streaming is not about like income, really, is it? I'll just put this on screen so I can still see you guys while I'm doing this.
Carol, do you wanna sit in the interview chair? I think we should. Oh no, Carol's feeling shy.
Video to do.
Oh, he's editing a video. All right then.
Okay. All right. So what do you
want to sit in the interview? Carm's gonna sit in the interview chair. If you knew how tight this space was, you'd understand why. There's an interview / producer chair. Mate, she's gonna run through her NFT collection.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Say some.
Right. So you want me to just share like all the NFTs that I have?
Yeah, and we'll make sure we get a copy of each.
A copy of each. That okay. All right. So actually, should I do it in
like half the Ethereum of each? Like, how much are they?
I mean, some of them are they're not always super cheap. Yeah. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, my screen sharing is paused.
Yeah, they're like half. I might have to just wait till Santa Claus gives me the.
Can you guys see? Can you guys see my screen?
No, I can't see it.
It says screen sharing pause. Wait, let me try again.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Weird. Hang on. Let me try and do it this way. Okay. Right. Can you see now?
Grief. Yes, I can see grief.
Okay. All right. Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start
yeah. So this is like January 2021. Like music, I feel like that was sort of a time where music and like people were dropping on sound, but there was only a real small handful of people dropping on sound for 0.1 ETH, like for 25.
That is 21 is a lot of money.
It was at that time as well, right? So anyway, I was just like, yeah, I can. Why, I can sell my NFTs at the same price. Lesson learned. I did sell a fair amount. Actually, this came in two parts. So this is this is my very first NFT.
Is that for people that don't know?
Oh yeah, for the record, 0.10 ETH is like $180. So even while ETH is low, is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I sold 10 of these.
10?
Pretty good.
Damn! Damn!
Yeah.
God is very... Yeah, the
And
universe was
also,
loving you.
yeah, it was kind of a good 101
Universe
babes.
was
What was her
your
name?
Was in your
And I
favour.
also partnered with this artist to do like a one of one. So she did damn, I wish I had the link, but basically she had a collection called 101 Babes, and I had bought something from her collection, and I asked her if she'd be up for doing like a collaboration whereby I gave her like, oh, here it is, Roots Babe.
Oh
So this
God.
is the art that she did, and it's got my
Yeah.
song in the background.
No way.
Can you hear
Featuring
that?
Omotayo, that's genius.
Yeah. So this, she auctioned this and it went for 0.8 ETH, and we
Damn,
split that
all right.
50-50. And so then, yeah,
She was running it up.
so that, and then I released the editions of like, I think it was 11 editions at 10 owners. So okay, right. So there's just like 1 or 2 left that I think I still hold in my wallet. Yeah, I've got 2.
Ethereum. Jeez.
Yeah. So that was good. Like that was a good start.
One sec.
I was like, this is a good start.
We like it. That's a good start.
Yeah. Then the second track. So I kind of my plan was to release these as like the EP. So there's like 3 tracks. And then Open was the second one that I released like much later in the year that I released. This is also the dawn of Midjourney. So I was kind of like trying my hand with Midjourney. I was like, let me see if I can do some cool cover up of my own. So I decided to do like a one of one cover. Let's see if this will load now.
Always sick.
And drop it on Foundation. And then so this, yeah, here's the cover. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but it's dope. Yeah.
So yeah, that's still up. And then yeah, so when I dropped this, everything was kind of changing with the market. Like at that point, music NFTs like could go easily between 0.05 and 0.1 depending on like where you were within the ecosystem, let's say. But then something started.
So we were not in music NFTs during those times.
Yeah, exactly.
What a shame.
This was the time. Yeah, I was able to finance my, the recording of the EP from the money that I was making from NFTs, which was nice. I was able to upgrade some studio equipment. Like it was good times. Then it was around this time that I hooked up with a group. So basically this was the mixtape that I made with a bunch of other people and a bunch of other musicians. There was this NFT project that was dropping called Loser Club, and the art was really cool. Like the artist actually, if you can see in my window now, this cover art was done by the artist of the NFT project, and that's all of our PFPs like in the picture. And so basically this is like a collection of, I can't remember how many songs it was, like 10, 11 songs that were all from people within the community. And we dropped, the project was basically like, if you have a loser PFP, you can submit your music, submit your beats, and then everybody could just like see what they liked, make music together. And then we took it to the official project and we're like, this is what we're doing unofficially, but do you want to back it? And they were like, hell yeah, we want to back it. So then we basically worked with them to amplify it to the whole NFT community of like, these are all the songs that have been created. If you hold a loser PFP, you can vote on which songs you want to be on the mixtape. So then these songs were like the final songs that were voted to be on the mixtape. And then we minted the mixtape. So this is actually like an interactive NFT. You can like skip through the songs in the browser. And
you can skip through the song in the browser.
Yeah, and then we minted this one sold out. It was like 333, and then like we sold out. So basically everyone who had there was like our core team, the Outsider Collective, but then every artist who was involved, we split the proceeds of the mint like completely equally between everybody. So then everybody got about the equivalent of like 200,000 Spotify streams worth of ETH. and some of these people had never made any money from their music before. So that was a really amazing project to be a part of, because it was like cool to come together with other artists, but also like offer other people who had never necessarily like made music before to this level, and then even like put it out. We kind of gave them that platform as well. So this was awesome. I'm really proud of this project. And yeah, they flew us out to New York, and we performed this mixtape at the NFT NYC event, and everybody was singing, and it was just like, yeah, it was great. It was like a real moment.
Like just the New York thing, I didn't even know. Did you know this?
I didn't know.
How come you didn't say this at your headline show? Why did you keep this information?
I don't know. Like, actually, yeah, no. There's just a lot. It's been like a wild ride, you know. But yeah, this was a big moment. This was like a big thing. This is a huge part of my life last year, being a part of this.
It would be a huge part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this for me to America. I've never been to America. No, you deserve
so that
it.
was
It's
a vibe.
amazing.
That was a vibe. And then what else?
She's so
this
funny.
was a one of one. This was a one of one that I released. Mint Songs was like one of the earliest NFT platforms, and they kind of like encouraged artists to mint really, really cheap, which at the time was quite contra to how people were really minting and kind of moving through the space. So then they launched something called Mint Songs V2, which was on mainnet Ethereum, because their original platform was on Polygon, I think. And so they invited 100 artists in the space to do a one of one. So I did this track as a one of one, and yeah, it got scooped up by this project called Superfest. I'd performed in their Discord before, and so then when they saw that it was up, they were like,
wait. Let's not skip over this, Omotayo.
What?
How did you perform in the Discord, mate? Twin.
What do you mean?
How did you perform in Discord? Because we've never got a Discord gig before. How did that happen? How did that happen?
I was invited. I was invited. There was just a time where I was about, you know, like I was always in the spaces. I was always performing in spaces. I was always taking every opportunity to like perform in the metaverse, you know, this, and then this project
where and when did you perform at which metaverse, Omotayo?
But this, like, just bear in mind as well, this is 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. So like, I don't feel like I was deep in, I'm not deep in anymore, because it's
why not? What happened?
It takes a lot of energy to be active in Web3, especially when you're on the other side of the world, to where like most of it's going on. You know, most of the community is in the States, so that means it's always kind of like in the late evenings that you're kind of like about. And then I realized that for me, you know, I was like going to spaces and performing my tracks, and then when I was part of the Outsider Collective, I was really kind of involved as like the kind of core person in terms of strategy and branding and like where we wanted to go. And like then I realized, whilst all of that was amazing, that actually I didn't have any time to actually like improve as a musician, to write new songs, to develop my craft. Like and the whole thing that had brought me to Web3 in the first place is because I found a place where I felt able to like explore releasing my music and like doing like how I wanted to do it. And it was this space of like, yeah, I can come here and be a creative and do my thing. And it can be this space that can be sort of like fertile soil for me as a musician. And then the more I was in it, the less music I was actually doing of my own. You know, I was providing a lot of opportunities for other musicians, building community, building connections, but then no time for my craft. And that's not the same for everyone, because obviously I'm also a mum, I work, I'm in the UK whilst it's all happening in America. So there's a lot of plates that I got to spin. And I realized that the one plate which I didn't want to put on the shelf, which was the music plate, was like gathering dust, you know. So last year, at the end of last year, I just had to make this decision, like, to step away from being part of the collective, like being such an active part of it. And really, in this last year, this is when I found my sound. Like, I found my sound. I've made the best music that I'm the most proud of. I haven't been doing it for very long, but I realized I had to take back some of that creative energy for myself. Otherwise, I was never going to get where I wanted to be with my music, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. By the way, this is Dubbin. He's one of our OG participants at our
Hello.
weekly webinars. Dubham, keep your eyes on the road, please. Eyes on the road. But Dubham, you own a few SHURiKAN Sounds NFTs, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think? What do you think about music NFTs and the future of music NFTs? Do you think it's a positive one?
it's positive. It's only going to get better. It's going to blow.
Omotayo here is a bit of a top G when it comes to
No.
music NFTs.
Not a
SHURiKAN
top
Sounds
G.
so far has we've only mainly done 3 NFTs. This girl's ran it up. You know what I mean? 0.1ers, 0.1ers. 2000 and she's performed on Discord.
And in
And
New
she's been
York.
booked in the
And an
Metaverse.
NFT MIC.
So since this is such a rare opportunity before she blows up, what would you ask a future music NFT Metaverse performer star before she blows up? What would you ask? What would you ask such a person? Kind of question.
Hold up. That kind of question I ask that is, what do you do to like keep going? Like, what do you do to keep going? And say for example, like, have you got like any partnerships? Like, what are you doing today? You got any like partnerships lined up? Any partners you're working with? Or is that like in those that's in the works?
Within the Web3 space specifically.
Yeah, with Web3 space, yeah.
Yeah, so this is literally what we were just
Also,
talking
Twitter,
about
everything.
actually is like I think for
Oh, gosh.
me personally, I was so in. I was like fully in for a good 2 years.
Some
And
people
really
were
this
pretty-
year for me, I've had to take a bit of a step back from being such an active member of the space because I needed to take time to actually like improve as a musician, develop my craft, like write new material, give myself space to be inspired to write new material, because the Web3 space, especially the music space, it really requires like a lot of cultivation on a regular basis, you know.
Wow.
And I think for me, what kept me going for that 2 years where I was really all in, was the community, like the process of putting myself out there as a musician, going to the Twitter spaces, which are kind of like, you know, it's like a chat room on Twitter basically, that people host, where you kind of network with other musicians, you hear other musicians that you like. People are so open to collaboration. Like actually, yeah, this NFT here, this one, Rest Your Bones, was a collaboration that I did with 2 other artists in the space.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we minted 28. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was like 0.01, something like that.
Oh.
So yeah, I've done, you know, I think, and then this NFT as well was also a mixtape collaboration. I think in total it's like 20 artists involved. Most of them were in the States, you know, so you've got like beat makers on there, you've got rappers, you've got singers, you've got, you know, the actual the guy who did the artwork for this was the artist for the NFT project that we all kind of met together in, and they flew us to New York. I performed on the same stage as Kate Renada. Like, this is it's a place where, because everything's
Wait, same stage as who, young lady?
he wasn't on the stage. Let me just like full disclaimer.
Even just like the same stage as.
Yeah.
Like,
Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, like on this like rooftop stage. And I was just like, this is my first live performance. This is my first solo live performance, and I'm performing.
Your first solo live performance was in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, on a rooftop where, like, literally the week before that, Kate Renada had done a gig. And
so
I say that.
Talk to us about these relationships that you built, or make sure you touch upon after you finish your point.
Yeah, and I say this not to be like, yeah, I'm so sick, but more to say, like, as a new artist, literally, I've been releasing music for since 2020, January 2021. So that's like, you know, not that long, not that long now, you know, nearly 3 years actually. Wow, that's gone quick. But that when I started in this space, I was literally like starting from ground zero, and in 6 months, like 6 months later, I was like performing on stage in New York and making friendships, some of which will last a lifetime. And I say all of this because I guess the like the seed of inspiration that I'd want to offer everyone is that because the Web3 music space is so new, everyone who's there is like, there's no one there who's there to like gatekeep. There's no one there who's there to be like, I'm the shit, like don't talk to me. Everyone's DMs are open, you know, like people are really willing to collaborate. People are willing to share their knowledge. And if you've got something good going on and you find other people who you vibe with and you realize that there's a resonance and you want to build something, you can just do it. You can just do it, and you don't know like where that inspiration is going to take you, is what I'm saying. So even though I've kind of taken a little step back more recently, I would say that for like part of that is just because I'm also a mom. Like I've got a whole bunch of IRL life stuff going on as well, you know, to sort of hold down whilst all the Web3 stuff was cooking. And it was like, okay, something's got to just go on the back burner for a minute, you know. But that if you have like the time and the curiosity and the drive to explore it, it's a completely different experience than the legacy music industry, because it's like the Wild West, and in the best possible way. It means there's like so much to explore and there's so much gold to be mined, you know. It's just like whether that's connections or collaborations or opportunities, like it's all up for grabs if you're I don't want to say hungry for it because it's not really about it, if you're just like down for the ride, you know.
100%. Andy,
Wow.
Andy,
Yes,
you there?
mate. I'm here, man. What's up, man?
Alhamdulillah, God is great. You know what I'm saying? We got Omotayo. Are you familiar with the amazing guest that we have today? Are you unfamiliar?
Apologies. Yes, I am indeed unfamiliar. But Dubem, I think I've seen you before, man.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. What's your name? Andy.
Andy, yeah. Are you
Andy.
in the UK? Are you in London?
Yeah, I live in London, yeah.
Did you speak at the Rich Forever book launch?
No, I didn't. Oh,
Did you? No, all right then. I don't know. But anyway, nice to meet you guys.
yeah, nice to
Dubem,
meet you.
Dubem,
Hey Andy.
Dubem is
Hey, mate.
technically not the special guest, but Dubem is definitely a valued community member of Blockchain Sensei and SHURiKAN Sounds. But basically, today is a SHURiKAN Sounds takeover. If you don't
Yeah.
know who SHURiKAN Sounds is, anyone unfamiliar, we're a subsidiary of Blockchain Sensei. We're focused on positioning artists in Web3 and utilizing creative AI. This is Omotayo, who's an amazing artist, mum, hustler, amongst other great things. I don't want to
Hi.
overspeak, right? But we're talking about music NFTs, and she's talking about her collection. And Andy,
Awesome.
who's your favorite? Name me 3 musicians who you love.
I love. Oh, that's a tough question. Um,
Any 3 musicians?
any 3 I like Dan Ball. I like Dan Ball. I like NF, kind of. But also, and oh, I can't think of any others. I
All
can't think
right,
of any
so
others.
imagine you had the opportunity, right, to buy digital assets of their early songs. You'd want to take that opportunity, right? The guest that we've got here is a future
Yeah.
Web3 music star who's going to take over the metaverse. So if you had the opportunity to speak to a future 2028
So she
metaverse
is.
music NFT star that's taking over the blockchain, right, what would you ask that person?
Oh, Matteo, it's nice to meet you, and thank you so much for being here today.
Nice to meet you, Andy. I
Thank
don't
you.
know either of those artists that you've mentioned. What genres are they? I need to check.
Oh, Dan Ball, he's on YouTube. He does like video game raps. So he'll take like
Okay.
popular video games,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
done some really awesome stuff back in the day. He's taken kind of big video games and he's just turned them on their head and turned them into musical masterpieces.
Amazing.
He's actually autistic as well. He's
Oh,
done a whole
wow.
album. Yeah, his album is very much like he's done a whole album kind of revolving around his experiences and what he goes through. So I kind of
Amazing.
really liked that guy.
Yeah.
Dan Ball, like
Dan Ball.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Ball as in Ball as in the cow.
Okay,
The-
Dan Ball. Got you.
Yeah.
Nice. We're gonna check that out.
Music. So you're in the NFT music space, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like these days, to be honest, I was talking earlier about how I kind of found my way to my music career through Web3, and I feel like now I'm kind of moving back into more of a Web2 space, because I didn't do that before. Like I literally went from nothing to releasing an NFT and then putting my music on Spotify, and then just really mostly releasing my music as NFTs and putting them on Spotify so people could hear them. Whereas now I'm more like, okay, I don't just want to be like a Web3 artist. I'm an artist. Like Web3 is a tool that I use, but I also want to gig outside of just, the Web3 circuit. I want to make music that people listen to even if they don't know what a Bitcoin is, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of going through that process now of, whilst I've kind of laid those Web3 foundations and explored that world, I'm now kind of in the world of like, okay, I also just want, I want to headline Glastonbury one day, like, and that hopefully will be nothing to do with Web3. So,
Come on.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Web3 is a space of inspiration for a lot of
Yes,
people. So
exactly.
rather than, it's not the
100%.
end game, it's just
Yeah.
like, it's a spur to do something. It's a spur just in some degree, just to get up and go. Like you mentioned,
Totally.
you went through, you found you wanted to do music through just because you saw the promise of Web3, but in general, like you found something that you wanted to do regardless. It doesn't matter where you do it. It's just a matter of doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely that. And I think it kind of gave me the confidence Web3 gave me the confidence to be like, oh, I think I could do something here, especially if your music is less genre defined. It's like there's no rules because they haven't been laid
She makes
yet. Because the
medicine
space
music,
is
by the
like,
way. You need to
medicine.
you need to mint her latest NFT, Grief. There's still some
you are just
available.
like ultimate
You should
hype
grab
man.
one.
Everybody needs a ninja on their team.
For sure. Yeah, that's hype. That's
I
good.
reckon I'd
That's
tell
good.
him, put it on a platform.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, Web3 is a very meta place. People, it's a meta place. People like meta. So people like anything that's kind of like Deadpool-esque, sort of fourth wall breaking, going across the screen. That's definitely the humor that's really resonates in Web3 and in the music as well. If music can kind of extend itself across the screen as well, that's always a special thing.
For sure. Yeah.
100%. So to wrap up NFT Fridays, Omotayo, what will be some parting words? In fact, I'm gonna let Calm end the stream. Come on, Calm. Yeah, no, but let's get the wisdom. It's not every day. It's not every day we get Omotayo.
It's true. It's true. So yeah,
Hey.
one last words. This has been
Last
definitely
word.
inspiring.
Cool. That's good. That's
NFT
good.
Fridays for sure.
Last words. I would say for anybody who's listening and is an artist and is interested or curious about the space, I'd say now is a really good time to get involved, because there's not that much noise at the moment. I think I came in on the kind of wave of a parabolic bull run, and a lot of people were kind of flooding to the space as musicians, thinking that it was like a kind of get rich quick alternative to streaming. Whereas I think now, because there's not so much noise, it allows you to enter that space with a bit more calm. It's kind of like coming to a party a little bit early. You can find where you want to, like, where's going to be your spot, where you're going to pitch up, like chat to some people and be like, okay, cool, I've made my connections. Now I'm going to sit back, and everybody then floods into the party, and you've already got your roots and you're comfortable, and like you've explored here and you've explored there, and like you've got your people, you've got your spots. Yeah, and I'd say that is where Web3 music is right now. That it's a nice place to go in, meet people who are very open to collaboration and networking, explore, test stuff out. Everybody's always willing to share their wisdom and their experiences, especially those people who have been around since like the last bull run, let's say.
Guys, I've got 2 trading calls with Omotayo. I'm gonna make sure she the crypto market. We're gonna find the RSIs, the lows and the highs. We're gonna sort it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So yeah, that's what I would say. Is that it's a good time to get to the party and like, you know, catch a little vibe before it gets a madness, basically.
I hear that one. I definitely hear that one.
Yeah, that's it.
I definitely agree.
Mateo, thank you very much. Dublin,
Thank you.
Andy, NFT Fridays, it's been great.
It's been a wrap.
Mateo, we'll I think we should check in with her in maybe like 3 months. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And make
Yeah,
sure you
well,
get
I
that
have some new
grief
music
NFT,
coming
because
out by then.
how many more NFTs is there left for the grief
There's
NFT?
still like 15 left.
15 left. Go
Scoop
grab
'em up
one.
for me, please.
It's
Yeah,
only
go grab one.
what is it? 3% ETH.
0.3, yeah.
There
Spread
we
the
go.
good
Come
word.
on,
Get
guys.
me.
Come
For
on,
the
guys. Go
whales.
grab one. Stop
Yeah,
messing
all that
about.
money is going into recording the rest of the EP, which is sounding sick. So trust that ETH will be well reinvested into the craft.
Well
into the process.
reinvested, yeah.
Yeah.
And get to the Moon NFT whilst you're at it, because there's only 20 left and they're free.
Oh yes, I've got mine.
Yeah.
Come on.
How much you
on.
selling it for? How much is it going for?
What the grief or the
NFT,
to
yeah.
the moon? It's
What is it?
0.303 ETH right now. So what's that? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the prices.
It's like
What's that like?
$50 bargain.
$50, yeah.
$50. What a bargain. Come on. For
Why not?
Mateo.
Why
Come
not?
on, people. Let's get that
Omotayo,
ETH
yeah?
invested, not financial
Omotayo.
advice.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you know what I was gonna ask? Another thing. You see this, you know, the NFT, right? Do you feel like now with NFT, like this is the way to blow, and this is the way to actually collaborate with big stars? Like, you know, if like gone are the days where people used to do like the promotions. I mean, you still do promotions, but you think NFTs is, you think it's gonna take over where this is where people can actually collaborate more with big stars? You think that NFT is gonna, you think that trend's gonna continue? Like, you reckon it will be, you think it's gonna continue?
I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily going to become the norm, because there's still so much to be said. You know, like for me, like I'm now in a process where most of my focus is on growing myself as an artist in like the legacy industry. But I know that work that I'm going to do there is going to mean that those NFTs that are on the blockchain are going to have more value. But then there are some artists, like for example, Snoop has dropped 2 mixtapes on the blockchain, and the second one, I think he got a bit of shit for the first one because he didn't collaborate with people who were in the space. So the second one, he collaborated with artists who were in the Web3 space. So like there was like 4 or 5 artists who are rappers, and they were all on that mixtape, on Snoop's mixtape. And like I don't think they would have been on Snoop's mixtape if he wasn't doing something in Web3 and he wanted to do it right. So he's like, who's here, who's building, how can I like support what's happening here, rather than come in and be like, hey, I'm just going to make some money and then bounce. So there's definitely that opportunity for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Be somebody who people want to make money with. And guess what? We them boys.
You them boys.
Believe it.
But yeah, go support homegirl. Come on. She's a black
Of course not.
British musician and business
send all the
owner.
details.
Let's get it in. Let's get
How
the
can I
grief
send you
NFTs
details?
in. Let's
Okay,
run
wait.
it up.
Come on.
Not financial
I'll put it in
advice.
the chat.
Oh, I
There's the
believe in the
link
vision
in the
long term.
chat.
Let's get that copy
Yes,
in.
please. Like the vision long term is grand, and I feel confident about it. Let's just put it that way.
I'm not gonna flip your NFT. I'm gonna hold on to it.
Hold
for a
on
long
to it
time.
until I'm headlining Glastonbury. Yeah.
Come on.
Give me
Or you
5
could
years.
buy 2 and flip 1. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
True.
that.
So true.
Yeah, I should get a second one and then list it. You know what I mean? List it at 3x.
You've like talked yourself into getting a second one. You're like, oh my god, this
I'm
is a
very
chance of a
FOMO.
lifetime.
Very FOMO.
You've literally FOMO'd yourself. This is great.
I FOMO'd myself to get the grief NFT. Let's go. No, but honestly, yeah. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks for
Definitely
having
check
me,
in
guys.
within 3 months. Are you
Yeah.
available to come to Metaphysical on Sunday the 5th of November? Are you
That's
available?
I'm gonna be taking my daughter to some fireworks, I reckon.
What about it's 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. daytime? You want to say hello in the daytime? You can bring your daughter.
Really? I don't know. I'll have to get back to you.
And then we got
Weekends
another
are
one,
usually like
Sunday the
family.
17th of December, for the record. That's going to
Okay,
be
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge one. That's going to be a huge
It's
one.
gonna be
We've got
crazy.
crazy sponsors and collaboration. It's going to be insane. You know what? Let's get you booked for Sunday the 17th. Not headline, but you get me. We'll get you a slot. You get me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
good. I'm down. I'm down. I'll pencil it in my diary.
Come on.
For the record, I
Awesome.
said not headline because last time Omotayo headlined and she killed it. So yeah, we just want to wait for
Yeah,
that.
I'll just
Wait for that
I'll
EP
just
launch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Get me.
yeah. EP sounding good. EP sounding really good.
Like, I will be so happy to do a metaphysical in collaboration with your EP launch, and we can even come together when it comes to curating how the idea and the speakers, and do you know what I mean, and the you know what I mean.
And the
Omotayo knows
shum,
what he
shum,
means. She knows.
shum.
But it's a Friday night, guys. I want to lock it off. We got a very important business to do. Thank you, Omotayo.
Thank you
Been
guys.
legendary. Take care. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye. Yeah, there's gonna be so many good reels from this. Can't lie. There we go. It's a legendary one. There we